and all that going at in the middle of the streets. Sounds like Sharifian law to me. So what we have here is that there was, okay, wait, let's get down to the United States. Okay, there it is. United States, the Posse Comitatus power continues to exist in those common states that have not expressly repealed it by statute. For example, it's codified in Georgia, more under OCGA 17-4-24, okay? Every law enforcement officer is bound to execute the penal warrants given to him to execute. So police officers are your Posse Comitatus, aka sovereign citizens. Islam?
Wow. They ain't going there.
I know. We don't want to.
They don't want to talk about that.
I know. That's up. Oh, what was Jamal's last name? Latimer?
Yeah.
The Latimer massacre of 1897 illustrated the danger of such groups and thus ended their use in the situation of civil unrest. So it's funny how the Latimer massacre is what ended their sovereign citizenship. They lost their own sovereignty again and again, don't they? Civil unrest happened when they try to citizens arrest people. Western United States. Yeah, see, all that Indian Removal Act is what had y'all putting people from different places in the same place with each other. Yeah, it was wars. And yeah, it was wars. It took our you wanted to get Wall Street, didn't y'all? You wanted to attack our Wall Street, huh?
And once they got that out of the way,
we got nobles and fiat money and what do you call it? Economics into equity. That's what it is about. It's all about that. Slavery, no, not really. Sex slavery, right? Slavery deals with counts of people, right? When we read the Constitution, they were counting the free people of the states, the so-called 3/5 of the people counted based on subject to and servitude, right? And the Indians not taxed. Huh? Why would they say Indians not taxed if the census, and the exception was not basically based off who they're going to tax? We don't tax people unless we're talking about dues, right?
Yep.
If you're not going to pay taxes to states, who are you going to pay taxes to? Be it your own nation? No? Yes? Maybe?
Yes. Your nation.
Okay. So they're still going to pay something.
Mm-hmm.
But to who though? So, in the United States, a federal statute known as Posse Comitatus Act, enacted 1878, forbade the use of U.S. Army, and through its offspring, the U.S. Air Force, as a Posse Comitatus, or for law enforcement purposes without the approval of the Congress. The hell they in there doing? Never mind. Gets weird. Gets weird. And people want to call trust. But play these guys because we're shoving target trust.
Oh, Islam bars. We just moved on to the YouTube, so just jump over there.
Oh.
We're on the YouTube, so let's get it. Let's get it over there. You know how we do. Yeah. So Islam bars. Peace and love to all the Moors. Canaanland Moors YouTube. We're live right now. We're gonna carry on over there. Islam.
Islam.
Yeah, Moors, Islam. So the link's in the chat for any Moors, because I'm on my fast, so I can't shimitar. But if you want a shimitar, just push the link. Just push the link and shimitar. So I can't shimitar. Oh, you have to turn down over there because here.
Yeah, I did too. I got it.
Islam.
I knew it couldn't just be one. You can't just do this. Well, look at him sitting there like that. Let him go. I'm about to let him go. I got to see all the damn. Or I ain't got my screen sheet. My screen share. I got so many tabs open on this damn computer. I'm ready to send these people back to the damn Athens they crawled out of. That feds need to be snatched away. Guru, what is it? Tashri Bay, fake Guru Friday? Real accountant reacts? Oh, I'm confused. Pocket watching TJ? Who?
Yeah, we're trying hard not to focus on the the elephant in the room. Focus on the trader.
No, because I'm not going to go with him.
Yeah.
Pocket watching TJ. I'm not going to pocket watching.
Yeah.
My whole thing is that the fact of Sharif is leading this man who probably has an education and a degree in real estate, so he understands the corporate way, right? We have our own views about that, but remember Morris when Noble Ali told you end those conversations at home and in the workplace to cause confusion. He talking about Moors that was pulling out their cards, telling people, "Look, I don't got to pay tax. I'm a Moor now. I don't got to do this stuff." It's the same argument that was happening back in 20s now, because those people, the fact that they are slaves, it makes them feel they will turn into agents like the movie Matrix on you to defend the system. So it's like you gotta kind of keep everything private and deal with it in the public. You know, when you don't tell anybody basically your secret stuff and what you're doing behind the scenes. This is why we're here now. We got gurus.
Yeah.
Mr. Sharif. And it's weird because we already know that he's basically behind another Moor, you know, or affiliate with another Moor. They're like from the same temple, whatever, who's a Democrat. I mean, that right there. I mean, that guy probably supports the vaccines. I mean, come on, guys. Not saying there's nothing wrong with it if that's what you feel like, but we have a certain position and a stance. And when we stand on it, it enacts our, you know, principles.
Islam.
Self-determined.
Islam. But
separating ourselves from the government. We thought it was about separating ourselves from being citizens. We're not citizens because this, you know, all this other stuff, right? And so now we're talking early 1991, 92, 93. So at that time period, these tactics that we appropriated from sovereign citizen organizations, from individuals like the late Leonard Peck, right? Who I met personally, not met, but I told him on the phone and we developed a relationship.
Right.
These people told us out of their own mouths, we're at war with the government. If people think nowadays that the whole term paper terrorism is a bit over the top, it's not. It's not over the top because these people that we got this from openly stated, we are trying to bankrupt the government. We are at war with the federal. That's what they said openly. They said this stuff openly. And so we're thinking, oh, that's right up our alley because that's exactly what we believe this movement is about. And so myself, and then there were others before me, but then there was myself and colleagues like myself that were engaging law enforcement, engaging the court system with this stuff. We were overloading the court system, and that was a problem. And I'm going to tell you why that was a problem, sir. It was a problem because at that time period, the courts and law enforcement were ill-equipped to deal with this. They didn't know what in the world this was. So we thought we were winning. See, you see what I'm saying? So when we were in front of the judge and we started spitting a lot of wild legalese, and the judge goes, "I'm dismissing this."
Somebody grab the wheel. Grab the wheel. Bro, he basically said that you're not allowed to catch the corporation in acquiescence, but that's literally the key component to processes, like catching them in dishonor. Why would he tell you that is wrong when there's an actual law term called acquiescence? Just because he's making it seem like you can't use these same laws against the people that was using them against you. Laws go both ways, not just a one-way street. And guess what? When you turn a law around, it becomes a wall, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Either a wall street or a wall to crash them down when they're driving with bad law, with unconstitutionality.
Right.
They crash into the wall because they're using the law backwards.
And they're using it to enslave the people instead of, liberate the people and give them the real freedoms that they so bravely always say that this is the land of the brave and, land of the free, home of the brave. So in actuality, they're just trying to bring us into conformity of their politics, which is democracy.
based off what he just said, this spinning us back into the democracy. To get me back into a democracy, I have to be in a sense have left it, but not left it physically, but in a mental sense. I don't deem myself a Democrat and all that type of stuff anymore. There's these two birds of a separate, two wings of one bird. I'd rather be part of the golden eagle and not choose a wing of the golden eagle.
Right.
If y'all even know what I mean.
Uh-huh.
Acquiescence. But notice what's happening when it comes to spinning people into stuff. This guy on the left, he's the one that's the victim because he doesn't know what Sharif knows. So he's about to be led into confusion, which is because what Sharif is doing is saying stuff that's is true and it's false. And the strange mix, he's strange mixing the hell out of it.
Yeah.
The guy is ill-equipped to deal with it. He's a little bit, he's incompetent. Not that we know incompetence isn't like a negative word. It's just you don't know enough. So, Mr. I've been in it since '91, and we knew more than the damn judge. Of course, you're gonna know more than the real estate guy. He hasn't even been in those atmospheres in that regard. So what you're doing is manipulating his ignorance to your own gain with your agenda.
Right. But basically, that's what they all do. More, they get out here on these little platforms. Well, they have a large following, you know what I mean, and there's be a lot of people who's supposed to be scholars and intellectuals, feeding into this stuff and confusing the people, because really everything is by choice over here. In actuality, that's why they are using manipulation and propaganda and certain aspects of duping the people, fleecing the people into the certain thinking patterns that they already have been invested in. As far as the education system, everything that that they give us for us to digest. So it's a lot of things that Moors have to really go into, like scimitary, what I mean, and intellectually, really, and really try to put people in certain perspective, in the right perspective. What I mean, because it's a lot of sharks out here that's ready to just prey on people and eat them up.
So if you notice a so-called government doing things outside of the capacity of law, which is awarded, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you not allowed to speak on it?
Yeah, you're allowed to speak on it. You're allowed to defend yourself too if you know better.
Well, because what he's putting forth is that you're not really allowed to say anything, because based off his argument, he's saying that if you know more than the corporations or those with the intelligent tone, if you know more than them, you're wrong. You're probably doing something wrong. You should know more than them. That's like blatant. You're not supposed to know more than the people that lie, right?
Right.
To tell you, or propaganda, they tell you whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You're not supposed to know more than them.
Why not?
So guess what? If you don't never know more than the corporate de facto, you're always going to get the butt end of the gun. You're never going to be able to free yourself, because it's always what they said. And if you outsmart them or you know more than them, you're probably doing something wrong. Think about the notion that he's trying to imply.
You're right. And then
I don't feel right about this. I shouldn't say anything because I can't never not know more than them stuff. I can't. What's the point of going to school? What's the point of education? What's the point of it if you're not supposed to know more than somebody?
Right.
What?
Yep.
This dude, bro. Because this stuff is what these men is going to pour into the hearts of their children. You're not allowed to study and just know more than people. Just fit in with the crowd. What is he saying to be?
He wants you to be a mindless slave. That's what he wants you to be. He wants you to go with the flow. Be good citizens, and go to work and punch the clock in. Do whatever these people tell you to. Put on a fucking mask and go in there and ridicule people, talk shit on them if they don't get a vaccination that's killing their ass. Okay, that's how he wants you. Because that's the whole conformity shit. That's the whole, become the sheeple and keep being the sheeple so I can just shear you down, make sheepskin coats, make gloves, however the situation. Because that's how these people function.
So y'all ready to be citizens again? Is this where y'all trying? I'm not y'all I'm just saying on the panel, not on the panel, but I'm just saying in general, consensus. Y'all trying to be citizens now? So y'all know we not black, but y'all ready to be citizens. That's where we at. I just want to know because it's starting to sound like people they're afraid to stand on their rights.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have any rights? Shoot, I don't know. Maybe you are like a citizen, a subject. Why do you, how do these things apply to you in the first place?
Right. That's why people just fall with the narrative. They don't want to fight. They don't want to learn law. They don't want to try to really give a nationality. They when you tell them that, they be like, huh? I'm black. What? Huh? You know what I mean?
Are we falling asleep to the truth of the matter here? The fact that we're occupied?
Yeah, a lot of our people think that the occupation is some type of illusion that Moors be talking about. You know what I mean?
Why is it illegal for us to count our own? But they say based off of Census acts and stuff like that, only the United States corporation can count the number of states members. Why is that? Why can't you know how many people based off of race is in one state to the next? Why can't you know that more? Do you understand what
I already know the demographic. Yeah, I already know the demographic because they know power is in numbers. So if they only vote you in a certain type of way up on a one classification, that means your political power or any type of political push that goes your way is not even going to be looked upon because they're going to put you on bottom of the totem pole. That's exactly what they're doing, and that's what they've been orchestrating for the last 200 some odd years.
It's because the majority of people in Americas, and it has been this way since forever and a time ago, is majority Moor. Majority darker skinned people compared to Europeans. So they're telling you in a reverse census. Do you believe that there's 72 people here? 72% of Europeans here, and then the other is like 14% us, and then everything else is everybody else.
I don't believe that. Somewhat like the other way around.
Yeah, like 75% us, and it's 14% of them. Census. How come we not getting paid taxes by them since they're here?
Right.
That nobody ever asked that question. How come they're not paying taxes to us?
Because we're not a corporation.
No. It's not that. It's not a corporation.
Or you need to own. You need to own your land again.
Got to be part and parcel, like the prophet said.
Yes. You still have, majority of us still have mortgage and rent stuff and all that. That doesn't show an owner. That shows a debtor, a rentor.
Right.
And that's not a personal or whatever. That's just where it's at.
Yeah.
Just where it's at the moment.
So, are y'all ready to give up? Because that's what it started. It's not like y'all ready to give up.
Exactly.
We in the trenches in the middle of the war. They're like, man, I don't want to do this no more. Get your hands together. Get your hands together, soldier.
Yeah. Like you being shell shocked. Come on. Snap up out of it.
He don't want to go to war no more. But
yeah.
Come on, bro. Don't you start this. Not now.
Patch that shit up and let's go.
The reason you feeling like this and they're attacking like this is because we're doing something. They're still off guard. They're still not ready. Huh? His daddies ain't ready for us yet.
We still have
they off guard still.
Right.
Like he was when he got his ass knocked out. He wasn't on guard. He didn't have his feeding properly set. His foundation was wobbly, so he got knocked out.
Right.
That's what we about to do to the Europeans. No, not physically, just in our rise, our return, our reclaim, our airship.
Yeah.
It's ours. It's okay. It's like the Europeans been waiting on us. Africans been waiting on us. Asians, everybody been waiting on us because they don't know how to get out of their slavery without us showing them. We are the first people that ever existed. Sorry, but it's true. This is why, bro. It's almost like, damn, you're not allowed to be cocky to be a Moor. They got you tucking your Moorish nationality. You serious? Be a Moor. Let that sun shine, huh? Let that moon brighten up their night because you're the Illuminati. You can see. You're the owl. You can see through that darkness. There's a little damn rat crawling under that leaf. You gonna get it, or you gonna just let it crawl around? No, you hungry. Your head around 360 on that thing.
You gonna swoop his motherfucking rat ass up. You know what I mean? You can take care of him. That's what you gonna do, bro.
Islam Negam, he said it has been foretold. Our ancestors said that it's gonna be this way, and we were still gonna rise through.
Right.
More, they can't even subjugate us out of this shit.
And they know it.
We know DNA fake as hell, but even in that fake system, we popped out on top. Right. Islam, the damn Albert Perry gene, right?
Islam,
Albert Perry gene. Even in the fake system, we still come out on top. So there is nothing. We don't even have to do this. These people are trying to get Moors weary because we're on it. Oh, more I've been having these dreams. The damn cosmos has changed. We're into the alignment right now.
Yep. Already.
So they kicked out Novo. What happened? It's the degrees, more.
The power is kicking in.
Yep. Oh wait, let's share the screen, Morris. Let's share the screen because since we're gonna do it like this, we don't even gotta deal with Bucklehead. We already dealt with him, bro. He was on Ben X channel, remember?
Yeah.
Before. So where I want to take y'all to? Let's take y'all to first tax laws in America. So we could see a little something or other. 30% taxes on stuff. But I want y'all to show us when the direct tax was implemented because, do we love our prophet or do we not? Because the bull was on it by February 13th. Required 3/4 of the states ratified the 16th Amendment, adding the amendment to the Constitution, aka they made it a so-called law. That year, Congress enacted the Revenue Act of 1913, which is also supported by the Income Tax Act of 1913. So the prophet, being this 1913 guy, he's what was he doing? How did he know how to move when this was happening back in his time? He didn't have nobody to tell him how to do this. There it go. Hey, right. 7 days before his birthday. Hold on. In the previous case, Town versus Eisner, and you can study this on your own, guys. The court has ruled, however, that a stock dividend made in 1914 against surplus earned prior to January 1st, 1913, was not taxable under the Act of October 3rd. Why? Because it happened before. So this happened in 1913, guys.
Yep.
That's confusing. Okay. So understanding that tax laws in America started when your prophet hopped on the scene. That's like crazy. That's Jacob Dorman crazy.
Yep. And
look at this, more anti-rent war. But when I type in anti-rent war, look at what pops up behind it. You ever play that ColecoVision? You ever play with the ColecoVision more? What the fuck is a Coleco? The Coleco. Well, they didn't want to pay rent, the Europeans?
Yeah.
They didn't want to pay rent.
The anti-rent war, also known as the Hellenberg War, was a tenants' revolt in upstate New York in the period 1839-1845. The anti-renters declared their independence from the manor system run by the patroons, resisting tax collectors and successfully demanding land reform.
Now, you know, when what is a patroon? You know, y'all gotta know what patroons are. They're balling. They're people that's balling out, but they're like migrants from other lands.
Mm.
So this anti-rent war, and you know, look, these things became what you would call calico Indians. And there was a famous act that happened where people like this dressed up calico Indians as disguises, right?
Mm-hmm.
Remember when people dressed up like something and threw something into a river?
Yeah, the Boston Tea Act.
Oh, was that tea or hemp? Was that hemp?
Oh, hemp.
You never had hemp tea?
But they say tea, but we don't.
That's a hemp tea, right?
Yeah, yeah.
More. Who would get mad if they threw hemp into the damn into the ocean? Because I never seen hemp grow at Britain.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So they threw our damn hemp into the waters. Shit got crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Because we doing business with Britain. So how would you throw our provisions into the water? And why would Indians throw their own provisions into the water?
Right.
Here we go. They didn't want to pay taxes to who though? See? Wasn't they on somebody's land?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
It was on the Moorish land.
Treaty signers. These people, the California Gold Rush. This thing is all about this. To tuck the treaties. Oh yeah, Dred Scott too.
Mm-hmm. And
to tuck the treaties is to keep.
Treaty.
Oh, here it goes. Here it goes. Y'all know about these people? Y'all know about these people? Aztec Club.
Aztec Club. U.S. treaty signers who was members of the Aztec clubs. Okay.
This is crazy because the Aztec Club was like a secret society that was around when all this anti-rent act was going on. So this masonry happened. Here you go, look, 1930s Indian Removal Act. Huh? So the Aztec Club was involved in that?
Freemasonry.
Secret society stuff.
Yep. Freemasonry was all involved in that too. That's what
Southern
it is.
States, Morris.
Yep.
We got Maine, Missouri and stuff, but you see the Florida, Texas, and Georgia connection. I mean, well, not Georgia up here. They got other southern Georgia lodges, but it's all crazy when you start putting this in because you see who did it. We already got Albert Perry. He predates Adam now, guys. Jeez. Albert and Adam rewrite the history of human origins. Okay, and this is back in 2013. If you didn't, they've been knew this. The DNA of Albert Perry may change the story of human origins. Perry was an African American born into slavery in South Carolina. Put your damn thinking cap on with that damn stuff. But an analysis of DNA of his descendants produced results that came quite a surprise and have raised questions for geneticists around the world. Turns out that Perry carried a very different type of Y chromosome never seen before. Every male has the same Y chromosome, which is a piece of DNA inherited by the sons from the fathers. But unlike most DNA, the Y chromosome is not shuffled when it is passed down, sort of like the last name from the father. And it changes only slowly through mutation. Tracking these mutations allows scientists to create a genetic tree of the father's son goes all the way back in time. The important part is that right here, what is the surprise about Perry's Y chromosome is that it did not descend from Y chromosomal Adam, or rather, that the established Adam has lost his title to a new Adam further back in time, where Perry's branch split off from the tree. Okay, so while the former Adam is established or estimated to have been around 202,000 years ago, the revised one is thought to be 338,000 years. Okay, so we predate all of humanity. Sorry.
Right.
Sorry. It's not, I didn't make it up. They did.
They've been know the truth. They just want to hide it from them. That's all. So now they got to come out with
So
profit again.
Something. I want to revisit this. Dred Scott. Do we know what this was really about? Because I'm about to blow y'all damn mind. I never even thought about it before until today, and then I was like, wait. All right, let me do this for y'all. Watch this. Who was named Scott that owned this guy.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, who was Scott that owned this man? Because remember, our whole notion at first was like, yeah, he had the slave master's name and he didn't want to give it up. I looked, but there's no slave master with the Scott name. Uh-oh. Yeah, look, because it's Dred Scott versus Sanford. That's not, that should have been Dred Scott versus Scott, right?
Right.
Wisconsin territory. Now, do you know why this Moore got his stuff didn't get it didn't go through? I'm about to show y'all right now. Died of tuberculosis. Funny, everybody dies of tuberculosis, huh?
Right.
But where are we at here? No, it says, but okay, Harriet, his wife. Now, are slaves allowed to marry?
No.
He married her, this lady, when slaves weren't allowed to marry. So it had me sitting here thinking, like, how the hell did he marry if you needed to be free to get married? And I'm like, well, okay, well, that's just odd. That's odd. That's funny. That sat there with me. I'm like, he can't. Right, oh, here you go, right here though. So the Scots' case, so him and his wife, the Scots' case were first heard by Missouri Circuit Court. They, the first court upheld the precedent that once free, always free. Why would they say that if these people weren't free? Why would they say that? Morris, oh, shut. I think the Scots was free. Watch, Morris, it's in the next sentence. That is because the Scots had been held voluntarily. They, damn, voluntarily for an extended period by their owner in a free territory. They wanted to be. Yeah. Damn it. Which provided for slaves to be freed under such conditions. Because they wasn't slaves. Once free, always free. And then they in there voluntary to be in the how do you volunteer to be an extent, to be somewhere held? How do you volunteer to be held? Oh, this is crazy, guys. I know. Therefore, the court ruled that they had gained their freedom. Uh-oh, you ever hear that part? The court ruled that they gained their freedom? Oh, the owner appealed. Okay. And then the 1852 Missouri Supreme Court overruled this decision on the basis that the state did not have the aid by free states' law. Oh, my fault. Abide by free states' laws. Now, this part is crazy. This is the most important part. Abide by free states' laws, especially given the anti-slavery fervor of the time. It said that Scott should have filed for freedom in Wisconsin. You talk to me more about this nationality claiming. He was supposed to file for freedom. How the hell are they supposed to know he's free where he come from if he didn't do that? Man, look, Scott ended up filing a freedom suit. He tried to sue for freedom instead of going to Wisconsin and filing for freedom. Yo, I love when the so-called judge magistrate tells the pro se litigant the answer before he hit him with the damn case. He tells you what to do, how to remedy it, and then you go and do the wrong. He try to sue. What? Who you suing? You don't got a federal case. Your shit is with a state. Right.
Because you didn't correct. You didn't correct your status, so it's not on them; it's on you.
More, his status would have been corrected if he would have went over there and filed for the freedom, because he was never a slave. This dude was up here staying with Europeans or whoever it was, because a lot of these people that they call Europeans were dark-skinned Spanish. We're gonna get to that. He was staying with like dark-skinned Spanish or whatever. Then somehow look, we're gonna read it. Ended in the file. He tried to file for freedom of a lawsuit in federal court. You already know who's gonna have to face that. The U.S. Supreme Court. So now it's him versus the court, since he wanted to take them and their laws to court instead of just filing for this freedom. Stupid. In the case that he appealed to the Supreme Court, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that African descendants were not U.S. citizens and had no standing to sue for freedom. You know what he was supposed to do in Wisconsin?
Take his ass over there and file for paperwork.
He would have never got held as an African if he did that, because only Africans were under slave servitude in their law papers. That's fact. It also ruled that the Missouri Compromise was unconstitutional. And this was the last in a series of freedom suits, people trying to sue up here, from 1846 to 1857. How y'all trying to sue without y'all nation with y'all? Ooh, you could have did it by yourself, though. If you just filed for the damn freedom, where y'all was at? Y'all wasn't no damn slaves. The hell's going on? That began in Missouri courts, and where it was heard the lower federal court districts. So the U.S. Supreme Court overturned the earlier precedents and established new limitations on African Americans.
Right.
Supreme Court overturned earlier precedents based on this. What was the earlier precedents? Let's go back. Oh, I think I skipped it. The earlier precedents was the precedent of once free, always free, right?
Yeah.
That now, okay, now, overturned now. We can't look at you and know you're free because damn Dred Scott don't want to damn file for damn freedom. Like how y'all Moors don't want to file for freedom today. We don't know how. Man, come on, stop playing, bro. This stuff happened all through time and history. Y'all think it's new.
Mm-hmm.
Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Look at this old map out here. Who knew the Spanish in Spain was also on the West Coast and not just Florida? Section of Florida, do you know before this whole part was part of so-called Spain? So all this down here, Spain, Louisiana and stuff, and this is the only part where they was practicing slavery, Missouri and Arkansas territory. So who the hell was there? Indians. Not saying that they weren't slaves. In slavery, they had their own slaves.
Right.
Look, title of the Red River Basin established by a treaty with Great Britain. Florida ceded by Spain. Huh?
Yep.
So Florida ceded Spain to the United States. Wake up. And y'all don't know if y'all don't think y'all more. Who was over there running shit? And then when you say you are more to get people right in line with what we're saying we're not the Christians that came over here and stole lands and enslaved everybody. We fought back. That's what more means. It don't mean, you believe in the law and believe in the praying 5 times a day. No, with the ass 5 times a day if he try to take your land. That's the only thing you believe in. Because they can't come and take it from us. If we was born in this city, this place right here, Texas, annexation, right? We got Moorish peoples and their Indian associates together battling with the damn Anglo-Saxons. Together. Adams-Onis Treaty. It gets crazy. Now we keep it in the times, right? 1819. We keep it in the time?
In the time.
Keeping the time. Keeping that time. 1812, the war 1812 that happened over here? Huh? So we keep it in context of the times. Adams-Onis. Transcontinental Treaty, or the Florida Purchase Treaty, or the Florida Treaty. Did anybody know about the Purchase Treaty of Florida? Adams-Onis. Huh? What we looking at right now? Huh? Viceroy of New Spain.
Yep.
Now, when they say new, you have to know what new means. New don't mean new. New means old.
Old.
Old don't mean old. Old means
new.
Here these Moors go talking a little riddles. What am I saying? You know how we do, Moor. Old means new, Moors. When you think of a baby, right? Isn't that new? The baby is new, right? Newborn baby. So we go old, adjective from oud, Anglin, eld, West Saxon, Kentish, antique, of ancient origin, belonging to antiquity, primeval, long in existence or use. You got to hear how they're speaking. I'll skip right to it.
Let's get it.
Syntax right here, belonging to the beginning. When we get to the pi roots, it gets different. Old is from the beginning, which is when you think of a baby from the beginning. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, when we do the other way and do new, We start seeing a little change in systematic thinking. Like think nuance, right? New, made or established from the first time, fresh, recent, made or grown. Okay, so we go. It actually means not habituated, unfamiliar, unaccustomed, unsubjugated is what new means to this man. Make, invent, create, bring forth, produce, bear fruit, bring, resume, begin or resume. Resume from an inactivity. So new don't mean like brand new. It's a nuance to somebody else who don't know about it.
Right.
Newly for the first time. Oh, brand new. Like it's new to you.
Yeah.
So who's the only person that calls places new?
People who's new to it.
Like that so-called European.
Yeah, of course. That is like the car lot. You know, you got used automobiles on their lot, but to you who hasn't driven those cars, you know, they're new to you. So, you know, you'll say, look at my new car.
But yeah, with this whole new and old stuff, you got the Treaty of Amity and Settlement, the limits between the United States and His Catholic Majesty. And notice this is after the treaty with the Moorish Empire.
Right.
So there couldn't be nothing without the Moors. That's why everybody, you know, mad because like, oh, why the Moors sold us out to all these other nations? What y'all don't know is that the other nations were dark skinned as well. All your popes were dark skinned. Oops, the days. How many times do we have to say it? It also became the Latin American War of Independence. Wow. So this whole French thing became the Latin American War of Independence? So what's Latin America? What the hell? You didn't know we were speaking Latin over here. That's actually our language, the Latin. Because why would it be a Latin America? Why is Spain called Latin?
Because Spain.
You see it more. Where are we at here? Let me see. Okay, yeah, we can do that. Do you guys see this? The Treaty of Cordoba. That should be in North Africa, right?
Yeah, that's what they say.
Okay. The Treaty of Cordoba established Mexican independence from Spain at the conclusion of the Mexican War of Independence. Do you know that there was a Mexican Empire War independence for the Mexican Empire? How come they had to come over here to establish empires? We don't think about that. Everything was a kingdom, but when they get to America, it becomes an empire all of a sudden.
Right.
Think of America as a gift box under the Christmas tree, and when you open it, the Moorish Empire is in there, the French Empire is in there, the Spanish Empire, the Portuguese Empire is inside of that box. What somebody did was come over our house, open our box, take out Moorish Empire, and put it in another box that he got over somewhere, and call it, and it wrote Africa on the box. And then it's some people that go as to say, man, Moors is from North Africa, but Indians is from America. But you know of a time where America was known as India, but you don't know of a time where America was known as the West.
Right.
You don't know a time of when America was known as Venus.
Right.
AKA the West. What can you do for him more? And why is there a damn Treaty of Cordoba in damn Mexico? Shouldn't this be in North Africa?
Yeah, it's supposed to be.
Spain
That's
or
what they say.
right?
That's what they say.
The Cordoba line.
But this is all those places though, more. That's why, you know, when we tell them certain things about this is Morocco, you know what I mean, and this is the, you know, place where Moors really started all civilizations and went out instead of the opposite, right? Which they feed us. You know what I mean? They get, you know, kind of upsetting, like what you talking about, like, you know, but that's the whole thing. So, you know, by us going and demonstrating certain things and certain information and putting it out there, you know, it's up to our people to gravitate towards it, you know what I mean, and resonate with it, because that's the whole thing about, you know what I mean, with information more, you know what I mean, as far as our people, you know, we have certain people that want to get on certain platforms and really misguide our people and keep giving them the same Kool-Aid that Jim Jones keep telling the people to drink.
Yeah.
It's insane that these people were trying to get independent as an empire, but Spain didn't want to let them, and they didn't recognize them until
They had a
we did a treaty.
Yeah.
Cordoba treaty in America.
Stupid, man. I can't stand it sometimes because it's like, why is that there? We're not even going to deal with the limits. You already know about this. This is what resulted into the what was that? The Treaty of Hidalgo and Guadalupe, or Guadalupe and Hidalgo. They basically annexation of Texas and all that, and the Louisiana Purchase. First, so look at these flags, Morris. Don't y'all like the colors?
Yep, love them.
Mm-hmm. The Empire of Mexico. It includes California. You see what we're doing here, Morris?
Mm-hmm. Breaking it down.
Why is that the Mexican Empire?
Because
who? What? Where?
Because
when?
It's because they already know more. They got the hot stuff, so they'll put it, you know, Masonic keys on Mexican Empire with the Moorish flag, and you know, we already know more. Alhambra, the whole 9 yards, as far as, you know, they misguide our people, but it'd be right up on our nose. That's why when the prophet said this is a maxim, everybody like, what are you talking about? What? No, do the knowledge. You know what I mean? You'll see.
Do you know who you are, guys? This is the same regions where they were at, and it used to be called. Oh, my fault. They put it in Spanish again. There we go back. Oh, the Olmec, Chicxulub. People dominated parts of the central Mexico in the Epiclassic period after the 7th century. Somebody talk to me.
Yep.
And had their origin in the southern Veracruz and western Tabasco, and did not to be confused with the pre-classical culture of the Olmecs, although it is possible that it originates from the same geographical area.
Yeah.
So now you got a whole nother mixture of Aztecs in Mexico that people don't talk about. I'm gonna do this to y'all. We're gonna get this real quick.
Might as well go ahead. We got the time.
The clown. What was his name? It was
why are you looking for that? Islam Mother, you have anything to add in? It's been 48 minutes.
Islam, peace to the movement. Initially I had jumped on because I was the one that was putting up all the questions about the census and stuff like that. But then when I came in, the first thing I saw was Sharif, and I'm like, damn, okay. Now I'm trying to defend in this situation, so that's why I was on mute with the whole situation, and it's like the conversation kind of just drifted off to like a, like more of a historic situation more than what the initial conversation was on IG. So that's why I've been on mute, but I'm listening. I'm here.
Islam.
But yeah, it's we already know him, and it's like it's just crazy because then he comes through with his all confusion, and then it's like we already Shemitar'd you, but you're still popping up,
right?
And it's like, stay down, like
lay down.
But he don't want to. It's like he's just like another Tahaka Bay. You know what I mean? Always popping up. When, you know what I mean? Like, damn, didn't we scimitar you?
Yeah, fine. I gotta get it and look for it. But it's just these people, I don't know, man. It's like, because you can't find stuff like this in America and then everything just be normal. Because, like, especially if it's never been heard before.
Right.
I keep saying that when I was reading When Rocks Cry Out. Like it was just a perspective that was based in reason, that was based in common sense, some word relations and things like that make you actually highly consider that, like when they say Olmecs and they say, our people over here, and we're not talking about some slave thing, and we're talking about civilizations and empires over here that were running over here. This is not something about separating from some government. We're our own government. All this stuff that Moors are talking about is your history. Same way Drawley said, it's your movement. It's not some limited thing to who presented it to you. It's yours. You better take it and do something with it.
Oh, here we go. He told us to take it and do something with it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Early on the morning of the 27th, Loomis's force began wrapping up or warping up the gunboats into position, which was reached at 5 a.m. The fort, then flying the English Jack and the red or bloody flag, opened fire, which was promptly returned from the American vessels. The range having been determined with cold shot, hot shot, were prepared. The first one of these fired from a gunboat, 154, entered the magazine, which it blew up, completely destroying the structure. When the American forces entered, a melancholy sight was presented. It was found that its occupants had been about 300 Negroes, men, women, and children. Oh, they just love killing children, don't y'all? And about 20 renegade Choctaws. Would you check that out? What's the difference in these Negroes and Choctaws? I don't get it. Of these, 270 were killed outright. So there's like 30 left in explosion. And of the survivors, 3 escaped unhurt. Among the prisoners were 2 chiefs of the Negroes and Indians, Choctaws. Upon examination of the prisoners, it was learned that Daniels, the seaman captured at the Loughborough party, had been tarred and burned alive. In consequence of this act, the captive chiefs were executed on the spot by fudge and cakes by the friendly Indians.
Oh man.
You see, guys, why? How is it even a misunderstanding of what's going on here? It's the friendly Indians are killing Negro Choctaws and stuff together. They're together. Why are you attacking them? Why? So you're helping it. You're helping the
Yoruba, really European, kill, off.
This is so crazy. The surviving Negroes, which were captured, largely belonged to the Spaniards and Indians. So now you have a weird untold history where the Spaniards and the Indians, who supposedly hate each other, are working together at the detriment of the Negro. They work with everybody but us, huh? The American Negroes, whatever that, had not congregated at the fort, but were cultivating plantations along the river. They were cultivating plantations, not slaving in them. They were making the plantations up along the riverbank. They were farming. On hearing approach of any army, most of them fled to the Seminoles, other dark-skinned people with guns. Those captured were taken to Camp Crawford. See? And who was coming to take them?
Your sellouts.
Spaniards and Indians.
Mm-hmm.
See, and then American Negroes are the detriment. See how that works, Morris?
Yep.
And then in this document, they use Spanish and American interchangeably.
All day. Letting you know.
I was trying to see if I can get to the part where they actually call them Spanish Negroes. I was just sitting here like, wow. It's just like, what, like, history is in reverse crazy. Like, so if you're not really like spending your time to look through it, I think it's getting close. If you're not spending your time to look through it, you're gonna be confused as hell. British. He soon was in close association with the disaffected Indians, to whom he claimed to be British emissary. Huh?
A British emissary.
Who was British emissary? I thought he was I thought he was working with the Spanish more.
I thought he was too.
Dude, working for everybody. Hey yo.
The coup is real.
He's working with two different people. Morris, can't y'all see that? Just up there, he was working with the damn Spanish.
Double agent.
The Negroes. Now he's working with the goddamn British as emissary. See, man, chill out.
Or
I just said, how the fuck? Professor be their authorized champion and communication addressed to the American and Spanish authorities. So going through them to report back in communication. Okay. Color of the former claim is given by the correspondence with Nichols and the governor of Bahamas. Oh yeah, that's what they even let me to study this, because this is where my grandma was from. But it's about this old like this old Indian trade route between the Bahamas and Pensacola, Florida.
Okay.
But in that investigation, I started finding it's just all this talk of Negroes being there. So I'm like, well, damn, who got brought there? And then when they start explaining to people as, you know, switching Indians with American and switching them Spanish with Negro and switching Negroes as Choctaws and Cherokees, I'm just like, yo, can we not see that these are all the same person or people, and they're literally switching it up to confuse people?
Well, yeah. Before you carry on, I want to get the plug out for the free session. The free session coming up, presented by RV Bay Publications tomorrow. Just hit up the site. All the info is up there. Well, you have your turkey and your ass stuffing and all that stuff.
Oh, no.
You can get some knowledge.
Right.
You can get some knowledge. Right. Free. 7:15 to enter. 7:30 is when the Thanksgiving presentment 2021 is starting up. Go-to meeting. Islam war.
Islam. So, shoot, we could go to either go back to the what's his name and chopping his head off, because I think I'm about to get to that part, or we could ask Moors in the chat, like they got questions and whatnot, so there's uncleared of, and you know we answer those. So
yeah, the only one was root word, but we blocked him. So
root. Oh, root.
Oh, somebody in the chat's asking for the book link.
The book name?
Yeah.
All right. This is from the Florida Quarterly. Contents in the events of bluff of the Apalachicola River. So you notice how this became Appalachian, but you know, Apalachicola.
Apalachicola.
So yeah, the Florida Quarterly. If you want a better book, I'm gonna look this book up, because what I'm basically looking at is all in this book right here. I think that they must have read this book and took from it. Y'all get this book, please. It'll blow your mind dealing with how America is the Spanish Empire. Or no, let me say that correctly. America comprises the Spanish Empire. Spain didn't become an empire until they came over here and established what we already had based off of the Mexican Empire, which before that was called the Olmec, and the Mayan Empire, and Inca way later. But this is that whole Western, see the Western all the way down in the South America portion. That's what they basically came and I don't even want to say usurped, because these people are like the children's of some amalgamated crap. But yeah, these people didn't become empires. None of them. France, Portugal, Spain. What else we dealing with? Portugal, Spain. Oh yeah, Britain. None of them became nations or empires rather until they came to the Americas.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see, like, when you look up these things, new whatever kingdom or new whatever empire in America, you'll see that over in America there's way more land that's occupied to make up this empire than even makes up the place that they supposedly came from. And I'm like, well, so how could that small little part conquer all these people? Liars. So Indian traders. Oh, trade. Yeah, there I go. Traders of the Southeastern. Yeah, here we go. Get this book. No. Yeah, get this book. Indian traders of the southeastern Spanish borderlands. Get that. This goes all into that. Peyton John Company, Leslie and Company, and John Forbes and Company. Like, it's from their records. But get this book, please. It's doing good about what went on in the lands and how certain stuff was usurped and here and there. But that's where I got that from. Let me go back. That's where I got it from. I'll jump back into that when we need. Oh, my little nigga dropped out.
What happened, more?
Oh, I thought you dropped out. I'm like, where did more go?
No, I ain't went nowhere. I ain't went nowhere more. I'm still. Yeah.
So, notice how it's this heavy emphasis on everybody talking about trust, and everybody's talking about this and that and private this and this, keep this over here. Y'all want me to drop a hint to y'all?
Go ahead.
This world that we in, there is nobody that can teach you how to do this right, because everybody got different situations. But if y'all want me to give y'all a hint, I will give y'all one. I have no problem. And I'm gonna tell y'all this: don't go doing stuff, because you will get hurt. You don't know what you don't understand what you're doing. But if you need people who've done it before, or you could just study stuff of other people who are doing these things, and it won't be that hard. You don't need to spend those $1,000 either. Fuck. Sorry. So y'all, like, they want to talk about trust all the time, right? It's a trust. Everything's trust. This is literally from the IRS website. You can go to it and type in IRS. Here it is, IRS form SS4, and this will pop up. And guess what you can do when you're on Google? Google. You can type in there the stuff you want to enter. So why I pull this up is because everybody's saying trust. What's that say more? What does that say?
Hold on.
Yep, trust.
Okay. So, we gotta go and you set it up and to get the stuff. You need 40,000 papers. There's a trust page. Trust right here. What do you need to put a trust in commerce? You need a number. It can't, whatever. You need a number. Now, the thing about this, why I say don't touch it, is because don't you know what this makes? When you sign up for one of these and go online and just go online and sign up for one of these. Look what it says. Government agencies, trusts, Oh, it's right at the top. My fault. We read the directions every time, or look. But
Right.
for use by employers, corporations, partnerships, trusts, estates, churches, government agencies, Indian
Tribal entities.
certain individuals and
Certain
others.
individuals.
Okay, so
and
basically,
others.
anybody who's doing anything outside of anything or inside of anything has a goddamn EIN.
Mhm.
But guess what? When you do a naked EIN, basically just online, and you just do one like that, guess what happens? This gets filled out automatically.
Mhm.
They put that in there. They find your name, put that in there. Right? See how that works?
Yep.
So what we're gonna do now is read instructions, Morris. You just read it. Nobody ever read the instructions. I cannot stand these gurus because they don't tell y'all read the damn rules.
Them instructions. Yeah.
And now look, they make you feel stupid when you read it because of how it's worded. Watch. This shit. How to apply for an EIN. I know how to apply for it. No, you watch. More read this real quick. Read that for me.
I got you. It says Internal Revenue Codes. Unless
Oh, the highlighted part.
the highlighted part is not letting me go to the highlighted part. Okay, it says IRS government. You can apply for an EIN online only for applicants in the U.S. or U.S. Possessions by telephone only for applicants outside of the U.S. or U.S. possessions.
Now stop right there, Mark.
Mm-hmm.
Is anybody confused what it just said?
I'm not. As far as possessions.
It just told you 2 different ways to apply for this.
Mm-hmm.
And it says a certain thing that'll have what it represents when you apply for one in a certain way, and what it means when you do it another way, right?
Right.
Not too much, right? Didn't give away too much, but it say it right there.
Yeah.
You can apply for an EIN online only for applicants in the United States or United States possessions by telephone only for applicants outside of the U.S. or outside possessions. Is anybody unclear on that?
Mm-mm.
So, if you want to go apply for EIN, how would you apply for it?
If I was doing it,
or anybody, like if in the fantasy world of like, if we're going to get these and we don't want to be looked at as 14th Amendment guys.
Oh, we'll do it in proper persons. I'll just do it like that.
Anything written with anything you're doing with them, you want written.
Mm-hmm.
You want to call them on the
phone, yeah.
Do it by telephone, only for applicants outside of the U.S. on the telephone. Doing it online, that's for applicants in the U.S.
Yep.
And now, next time you hear a guru talk to you or any of these people, ask them, how did you get your EIN number? Because I was always trying to find this out. How did you get yours? And when they say you did it online, just smirk under your breath and keep on
on phone.
I still advise if you're gonna call, just call to ask questions, but you want anything in writing with them, because it could at any point. So that's just my 2 cents.
To put that into the cipher, the mother is saying you want to fill this out anyway. Even if you're going to call them, fill this out so you can have it for your own record. Because they might even ask you, well, it's in the rules. Send these good old instructions. Reason why you do exactly what the mother said, because it says, wait a minute. Oh, applicants apply by telephone. Option available to international applicants only. International applicants only. International applicants only. If you have no legal residence, principal place of business, or principal office or agency in the U.S. or U.S. possession, you may call. The person making the call must authorize. The person making the call must be authorized to receive the EIN and answer questions concerning Form SS4. You You better be studied up. Complete the third-party designee section only if you want to authorize the named individual to receive the entity. You see where this is going?
Yep.
Right? Oh, if you want the named individual to receive the entity's EIN. And answer questions about completion of the SS4. The designee's authority terminates at the time of the EIN is assigned and released to the designee. Because now you're only, or that entity, the designee, is only to give that number to the authorized party. Okay? You must complete the signature area for the authorization to be valid. Who must, when they say you? The designee. See? It will be helpful to complete the SS Form 4 before contacting IRS, and IRS representative will use the information from the SS4 to establish your account and assign you an EIN. Write the number you're given in the upper right-hand corner of the form, sign and date it. Keep this copy for your records. If requested by the IRS, mail, fax, or sign the SS4 form, including the third-party designee, within 24 hours. Boom. That's how you do that. There's methods to this madness, Morris. The reason why I say don't go do nothing, because that's not. I promise you right now. If you try to do something with what I just gave you right now, what are you using to show that you're not a debtor?
Yeah, before you say it again.
It's like, but don't go do what I just showed you, thinking you learned something now. Because you're not even equipped. What did I just show you? You don't even know. That was for your study purposes, to know that gurus are lying to you. So what you need to start doing is go look into these forms, read the rules. Don't touch it, just read it so you can have some understanding. And then in time, if you gather up some further studies, I don't even want to say try it, because you should know it at the time when you're putting stuff into effect. Trust me, it's not a scary world. The IRS loves us if you do it right. They want your body as a form of payment when you do it wrong. So just do it right. Talk to some more. I mean, we can have conversations in the private about this. And I'm open. I don't really keep stuff. I ain't going to tell you nothing to hurt yourself, but I will give you clarification depending on what you have came into in your own accord. How you the floor, though?
Yeah, so somebody asking they're trolling or what?
Oh no, that's P and F and root words. We're not gonna bang on them. Those is Moors, and they both kind of in their own regard and stuff. Root words, he got his understanding. P and F, they got their understanding, but they both claim that they Moors. And then they go on other platforms with other people that nobody's Moor. They stand on up there and they be like, "Look, I'm a Moor, and we all Moors." And they get tore down, shut down, shot in the face with arrows, and they still go back, and then they start getting love from the people. So I can't front. Honest to that, since you're standing on that shit so hard in the face of tyranny, and y'all, nobody, and y'all, I start to see when the conversation calms down, it's not so much of an argument. It's more so of a people don't want stuff placed on them when you don't explain what you really mean from it. Remember, Root came through and he was like, "Maximum is America," and we know that's how we think. That's in our, it's more understanding. But I pressed him and made him say where he got that from. Like, make that make sense without using a prophet, because there's a test to that. You want to show people who might not be, keen on a prophet or into the prophet like that. Show them another way to get to that truth, because there's many different ways. Like a maxim, al-maqsum, whatever, the division of the land. Division. You could use many ways to get to that. The Olmec's home, the Olmec's home. A way to say the old word of Mexico before the Europeans told us what it meant. Like, he was making his distinction. And who knows, when we study this stuff, we could probably find that down there in Mexico, because a lot of stuff is spelled with that she X, terminology. But honest to the Moors for that though, standing on their square in the face of the tyranny of people who are be kind of anti-Moor at times.
Right. And there's always getting opposition because, you know, they standing on their Moorish paradigm and standing on what the prophet brought them. You know what I mean? So as far as being studious, as far as the studying, you know, Moors want to jump into something right quick. You want to get a remedy right quick. And sometimes patient and learning things and comprehending them and bringing them down before you go into them will give you a better result. You know what I mean, more?
Islam.
I was telling PNF this Kasir. We had went at it two or 3 years ago based off some crap, but it ain't even nothing now because everything that you doing is basically what we were saying from the start. I seen your presentation when you went up there with those lousy American Defense League people. That's a headache. Just that. Listen, I'm gonna give you a hint more. Full blood Indian is FBI.
Right.
That's what they're FBI, bro. All of that making it so ignorant that you can't understand the first thing to it. And oh, they are so racist. And oh, it's just they're actually dangerous. All that shit, man, that is all FBI talk. And where did they come from? It seemed like they didn't come up until Moors start talking with Indians freely.
Right.
Here they come. Because we about to unify the crap out of this. But that's anything. Us and the Aboriginals, we need to come together and stop all this crap.
Right.
And, you know, they be what they be, we be what we be, but we both got the same principles, bro. Like literally, you go study that old Indian cosmogony of their spirituality systems. The top of the spirituality is or their tribal nation would be a president, but they call prophet. Under the prophet, you got the senior Sagamore, which is deemed like he's like the Senate Secretary of the State. Then you have the junior Sagamore, who's like the governor. So, you know, the fact that there's Sagamores or Shechems, which is sheep, you know, you can see that there's presence of understanding of Moors in their cosmogony. And then when you come over to our cosmogony, you can see Indian presence in ours. So it's like, why are we debating about, you know, what dresses it's in when we both got a common enemy called confusion, called statelessness. We black. None of us want to be black. Why don't we just agree on that? Before Cujo couldn't get that to the forefront. Now they all with it. They're like, look, we're not black. Don't call us that. Cool. Now we got an agreement. Carry that agreement into something, meaning y'all help us where we confused, genealogy and all that. We help you where y'all confused, law and all that. And we just leave it there, Morris. Because we got these people. It's not about to form like Voltron on us. I will not. No. Not again. Not again.
Right. Because that is the severity of everything, you know what I mean? And keeping, you know, us from going into another rendition of slavery, you know what I mean? So, you know, as far as, you know, the mind perspective as how we think as Moors, you know, and a lot of this stuff that we say on a daily basis is really don't sink in because a lot of people's paradigm is really, you know, benefiting them in some certain type of way. You know, that's why they feel comfortable with using those brand names, black, color, Negro, you know, etc. So, you know, as far as unifying, you know what I mean, we have to really be sincere, you know what I mean, and really just come together and stand on the principles and help each other out, just like you said.
Because I'm starting to know that it's not about just being black no more. That's part of it. But this shit then morphed into is deeper than just being black. This thing is about who's behind you and who believes what the hell you're saying. How many people you got behind you?
Right.
How can you rep that like how the mother was saying, what's the population? Let me see your numbers. Not like we take the numbers, but literally when a prophet popped out, bro, regardless, prophet popped out. It was a damn 1,000 people outside. All in one accord. I haven't seen it since. And it was unamalgamated. Haven't seen it since.
Because we are the wrong leadership. Well, we're not more, but you know, I'm saying as far as our people guidance, you know what I mean?
Crazy. Oh, hit the links.
Links in there.
Hit the link, Mo.
They ain't hitting no links around here. I'm not pushing it over here. Peace, mother.
Just wanted to say something in regards to like where I was coming from in saying what I was saying on IG, right? So like ultimately what I've noticed being in the movement is that you have to set up your own private jurisdiction. That's the only way that you'll be able to essentially save yourself from being in someone else's jurisdiction. That's the only way. You know, you want to perfect your claim as you do that. And in order to do that, you must know yourself. This is where Moore's Heritage and History School come in. This is where, you know, the books on rvbaypublications.com come in. I'm not going to lie here and say, you know, I stopped at RV Bay Publications. I definitely took RV Bay Publications as a reference point.
Yep.
And I went and I searched and I looked to find myself.
Yep.
When you do this, then you're able to find the words, you're able to actually put your story together and you're able to print that on paper.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what that story is what you're going to be submitting into your filing. Just like how Brother Kassir was there going over Dred Scott and all he had to do was file. That's it. You guys have to find your story.
Oh my God.
Find yourself, find your story, put it on paper and file it. I keep telling people we have to update our files. I've been said it.
Yeah.
We have to update our files in their system because the last thing they know us as is Negro, Black, Colored. So ultimately, if you just declare and proclaim, just declare and proclaim. But you have to know what it means. You have to do the digging. You have to do the work. Once you declare and proclaim, you put it on paper and send it to not just the secretary of whatever state you may have a house at, or you know what I'm saying, you may be set up at, but you send that to the Secretary of the United States.
Yeah.
So when stuff pop off, you're looking at the top down. You see what I'm saying? When a policy enforcer pull you over, you're not just dealing on a local level. You're starting from the top down.
Yep.
It's just different. That's all I can say. You know what I mean?
It's
so
a different whole situation.
Plug in where you can plug in and find yourself. You know, that's really the message that I want to send out to Moors who's looking for a nation, who's looking to be a part of association that represents love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Truly, the most you can do is set up yourself, and then the people who you are looking for is gonna come to you.
They'll find you. Yeah, that's how it is.
That's like honestly what's been happening to me. I didn't go when I was looking for people. I couldn't find nobody.
Nobody.
And then I started talking. I started putting this out that everybody everybody think I'm the guru. Like I know everything. I don't know nothing.
We are living the
all
same
the stuff I studied, I still don't know nothing.
Still working towards it. Yeah.
But yeah, you know, but just you have to be able and focused in your mind to know, like, okay, there are missing pieces to the story that I'm supposed to know about myself. Clearly. You see what I'm saying? Especially my Caribbean people, especially those who are on the East Coast. But it's everywhere for real. But I'm just like, it's something about that transatlantic slave triangle. Something about that era, man. Like everything just really went upsy-turvy, upside down. Like I can't find nobody outside of my grandmother who recently passed. She was the only one who could tell me something about my great-great. You see what I'm saying? I didn't have anything. I didn't have no pieces outside of her. No, she's gone. My living library is gone. I don't have it anymore. And it's a good thing I took advantage while she was here to talk to her. Yeah. So she can go reminisce in the back of her mind with her eyes what she saw and relay her point of view and give me something to start with, you know? like we have to really start, if we're really trying to figure this out, if we're really trying to go back to who we are essentially culturally, then you have to start with yourself, and you have to start really focusing, honing in on self. It's not going to be easy. You're going to get frustrated. You're not going to want to read. You're going to feel like you have ADHD some days and stuff like that. Train yourself to just sit down, read a book for an hour, and you'll be surprised like how the time just flies.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're just in it. After the first hour, I swear you're just going to be so immersed in the information. You don't even want to get up. You don't want to move. Yeah. Somebody's going to have to come get you because you just been in the spot so damn long.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So
I'll be irritated when people
this is
come.
how serious it is. This is so serious. So, you know, I'm just putting that on the record out there. I wasn't trying to cause any divisiveness or anything, but at the same time, like the questions that I was asking are real questions people are trying to answer.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I just wanted to put that out there, make people know, like, start with yourself, represent yourself, and then those reflections of you will come. I hear.
Islam, mother. No, that's why I knew you. What it was you answering the questions. I know it wasn't like a troll or nothing. So I used those opportunities to just answer the question the best of my ability, so other people with those questions could get an answer from a Moor who's actually dealing with this stuff, and not from some guru. I'm not a guru.
Right.
I'm a noble though.
It's a noble.
Right. Yeah. Islam.
It's a noble.
So it's like, you know, that's the thing. Like we see certain Moors just farther along. So the Moors just see those Moors just farther along. Get with those Moors. Talk to them a little bit. I mean, see where even you're at as far as like what this whole thing is. Because when we get questions like, how do you proclaim your nationality? To sit there and really answer that to somebody, it's if you're going into all this detail, disingenuous. It takes years to get to that. But long story short, whoever said you lost it. Who said you lost your nationality?
I'm a corporation.
And that's the case. If that's the case, then you will find out, well, what corporations, what did they call you before? Is there any record where we were known as a certain nation? Mm-hmm. Are there laws? And what do they use as far as nations that are recognized as outside of the United States? They use treaties. Treaties. Are there any treaties that exist that have, you know, these words that we call ourselves in it? Mm-hmm. Still looking for the Black Treaty. You know, still looking for the Indian Treaty that didn't get
subjugated.
He succeeded, where it was a land succession. Mm-hmm. But there is a Moorish treaty. That's weird because it actually has the word Moor in there. That's weird.
And it's been the longest treaty when? Oh, how long? The longest treaty?
Yeah, it stands older than America. I mean, United States, older than the United States.
Oh, okay.
So I would use that because if you read the congressional records of when the treaty was written, right after they signed the treaty, they started getting all these treaties with Indians that they had beef with. Right, they start correcting, you know, with these and called it peace treaties. It just caught me. It was like, wait, why are they doing treaties with Indian tribes? There's peace treaties after we did our treaty. What is that? When I seen that, I'm like, oh, can't tell me nothing no more. That's exactly what that was about. We signed the treaty. It made all the Indians get right with the states, and then after all the Indian tribes got clear with the states in the east, you see the Constitution.
That buzz was loud.
Mute your phones in class. What's going on?
The electric shock because you freaking work. Don't lose it. Pay attention. These Moors are playing. I think these Moors are playing. They're not playing. anywhere. Could be anyone. No gurus. Anybody's a guru. Everybody's a guru, especially the ones who are studying. Especially the ones who know.
More, they told us that. Then they say that the Indians came over on the Native Americans, came over on a Bering Strait bridge, ice bridge.
Ice bridge, yeah, that's what they say.
Where'd they get the name Bering from?
I forgot. I think it was the Iberian Peninsula. I think it was.
Right, that's what it should be, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when I go into this thing, it says that this guy named Al Hardlinka.
Mm-hmm.
He was doing these field studies and trying to say that America basically first got inhabited by people crossing the Bering Strait.
Right.
It was a theory of his. So then I'm like, wait, if you built a theory based off of people coming over here from Siberia, the Bering Strait theory, but it was never established as truth. It always fell apart because they it don't really make sense. Why did it disappear? Where is it at now if there's still ice in the north?
Right.
The strait is named after Vitus Bering, a Danish explorer. Wait, well, when was he alive? 1681. He was born in 1681, and they named the Bering Strait was supposed to be from ancient prehistoric times after somebody born in modern day.
Mm-hmm.
It never made sense.
Right.
He the Russian Navy guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they named it the bridge after his honor because he was one of the people who led the Russian expeditions, but they were sailing in boats. But so where are you getting that truth? Just making it up.
Right.
So the fact that it falls apart with evidence and science is, that's pretty big. But so everybody, all these people that are going off of it as a truth, it's part of related. Bering Strait Theory Part 2, Racism, Eugenics, and Why Natives Came to America. You hear that?
There we go.
In Europe, a new science of paleanthropology had uncovered special finds, but in America, it was paralyzed by infighting. In 1903, the new head of the Physical Anthropology Department at the National Museum, now the Smithsonian, Al Hardlinka, and like-minded colleagues were determined to end the disputations and promote professionalism and respectability.
Okay. So they tired of the fraud, basically.
So the infighting was amongst the goddamn scientists.
Mm-hmm. Because they knew about the fraud they was putting out there to the people. So once the truth was discovered, right, and the scholarly work of the truth want to be out, but the frauds are like, no, we destroy it, blow everything out of the window that we've been doing. And the scholarly people were like, well, so the truth got to come out. So infighting.
No. It says by founding the first journal and the first professional association of physical anthropology in the early 1900s, hence they made all this stuff up in 1900. Hardlinka became the undisputed authority in that field by insisting that the form of evidence suitable for answering the question of American origins only lay in the physical anthropology. He cut out any other form of scientific evidence. For example, linguistics, as most linguistics were closely or clearly at odds with his theory at the time. With Hardlinka at the head of the Physical Anthropology Department at the National Museum, William Henry Holmes as curator of anthropology at National Museum, and W.J. McGee at the helm of the Bureau of Ethnology at the top of the government positions in anthropology, were now filled and adherent and ardent critics of the antiquity of humans in America. You hear that? They didn't like it. They were against it. Harlink and his colleagues then proceeded to debunk every known potentially ancient site in America and South America. Wow. They just went on an ancient Moorish just brigade. Now, anything is to get it out.
Anything that's Moorish, get rid of it, hide it, debunk it, get rid of it. Yeah.
It said his deal was so great, as George W. Stocking Riley notes in the Ethnographer's Magic and other essays in the history of anthropology, that he succeeded in exiling every early man from the hemisphere. So successful that until 1930, oh my gosh, it was almost, I give the prophet again, man.
Yep, there he go. There go the man again.
Heretical to claim in it. Wow. So it's a heresy. So this is what this dude did. This whole thing that these Native Americans be on. It said they went so crazy, so successfully until the 1930s, it was almost heretical to claim an antiquity of greater than 2,000 or 3,000 years. You hear me?
Mm-hmm.
What happened with Albert Perry then? He shattered the crap out of that.
Right.
How did it become Albert Perry? He should have never been found here, guys. He's dark skinned. What is his genes doing here? Why is he from Africa?
Right.
They tried it, but it didn't really work. So this whole thing, this guy had this whole brigade against who was in America first, and what he was using was pseudoscience to prove it. It was accepted by his colleagues, because scientists is all who's funding it and all that type of stuff. And the people that disproved it with all the real facts that they had, he said it was impossible to prove his stuff false because it didn't fit his thing. And it's like, wait, that's the same argument they used against you. So he took that same here it go, my fault. So despite the host of sites which humans or human tools and ancient extinct animals had been found together, this was not proof. Harlinka had set up the Bering Strait theory and the modernity of Indians in the established dogma, not to the bias of evidence. The evidence had been clearly pointing the other way for over half a century, but on the basis of his own beliefs. He then required almost impossible conditions for those beliefs to be challenged. The pattern of requiring indisputable scientific evidence to overturn pseudo-scientific mythology would be one of his unfortunate but enduring legacies. Ain't that what we dealing with a lot more? The fact that they're using pseudo-scientific mythology, and then we're coming to them with real facts, but they're saying, "Oh, that ain't real. That ain't real. You're making that up. That's pseudoscience. You're literally
but you're using pseudoscience to debunk real facts. You see what I'm saying? So yeah,
man. The only way Harlinka was going to believe in an American antiquity was if a Paleo Indian came up and speared him in the chest. And in certain respects, that is exactly what happened. That
is exactly what happened.
He fell on a sword. Exactly. 404 error word. We can't go that far. But I know the story of what the hell happened.
404
he
error.
fell on a sword, Nobles. He couldn't get it right, so he fell on his stupid sword. So Mr. Harlinka ran into somebody called Kennewick Man. And Kennewick Man and the Naia skeletons were found in the Pacific Ocean in regions, in the Western American regions. And the thing about them is that their proportions and skull shapes and all that were of Negroid features, as they say. But that's not supposed to happen. What the hell's a Negroid doing all the way over there in Paleo America, California?
Yeah.
Right.
So they just said they don't know why Naila and the son Kennewick Man had Negro features, but they just know it didn't fit the proportion of what their theories is. But let's just keep on going and pushing it and to come out with fake DNA.
hide the truth, and push the narrative.
You got to think of how they're playing games. More Racial Integrity Act of 1924. If they're telling you that a full-blood Indian can be multi-tribe, multi-clans, so you could be a Chippewa, a Arapaho, Cherokee, but you're still full-blood. You want to know why that's a problem? Because all them tribes mixed in with Europeans. So how did you not catch the mix if you know, what's going on here? And then let's deal with it. Doesn't dark skin and, you know, like Moorish characteristics, aren't those the things that relegate you being opposite than, you know, European people? So, you know, pale Europeans.
Right.
Isn't pale based off of SLC 24A5 and SLC 45A2? Aren't those recessive genes?
Recessive, yep.
And dark skin would be dominant.
Yeah, dominant. They'll be original.
So in order for me to get light skin, there has to be a mutation in my genome that took place.
Yeah, a mixture.
Yeah. So if all of us are still semi-dark skin, brown skin, all the way up to Tony, but we have the Moorish characteristics. We have the frizzy hair. We have the face that looks like you're always angry. The shovel teeth in your mouth, like the back of your the four top and four bottom front teeth should be shovel shaped. When you run your tongue on the back of them, it should feel like a shovel.
Right.
That's indigenous characteristics. It's funny that they never include African American dental studies in the studies of who's Native American.
Native American, yeah. Another way to subjugate you out of it. Go ahead, Mo.
Right. You got something called a Tory bone. Not his Tory, but a Tory bone in the middle of the roof of your mouth. You should feel it protruding down from the roof of your mouth and be running tongue on it. Not everybody in the world has that, Morris. That's the characteristics of being indigenous to this land. Right. Most of our ancestors have moles on their face.
Right.
Moles. Those are indigenous characteristics. Have you ever met African with moles?
Not really.
Oh. Yeah. So, just something to think about.
Yeah.
Islam.
Islam.
Any more's got any closing comments?
Islam.
Islam.
This kind of goes back to like the beginning of the conversation, dealing with Sharif Bey and the whole Democratic Party thing that Brother Menelik brought up and Kassir. I just want to throw this question out there. Like, if you were going to deal with that party, if you were going, like on the public side, try to put up a political front for the Moors, why didn't they run as independent, knowing that the democracy isn't a part of the Constitution at all?
Right.
Right.
I can expound on that.
Trying to just put logically understanding what the democracy represents present day and how it's really anti-Moorish culture. It doesn't make sense to want to integrate into that without killing yourself.
So they're not on the Moorish side. They can't be.
You see what I'm saying? I just kind of want to throw that question out there, and that really is a question for Sharif Bey if he ever watched this. I might DM him because I did speak to him about that. And he didn't even respond back. Like I said, why you the democracy? Like what happened? Because he really wasn't talking about this. Matter of fact, he was one of the hardest riders for Taj Sharif Bey at one point.
Yeah, and they flipped.
It's crazy. So that's just my question I want to put out there.
Yeah.
So this is crazy. This is crazy. If we go back, Morris, we remember a certain Taj having a dinner, eating a salad at a dinner party when he was rudely interrupted by fat Moors, right?
They surrounded him.
Those were
It's
his
around
grand chiefs. Did ambush Taj.
right.
And what that Fat Moore said was that Taj said, "What about the civic side? You know, the Moors, Noble Drali is he established a civic organization." The Fat Moore straight up looked at Taj in his face and said, "See, the civic side is the dead arm of the movement.
Dead arm? What? Then you can't be Allah.
The civic side of the organization is the dead arm of the movement."
You can't be Allah then.
Can you explain what that means more?
Yeah, you can't be Allah more. Like you chop my arm off. How arm, leg, arm, head, love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice when you and chop the justice off.
Oh no, they didn't chop it off. They
want you to say it's dead. So
they killed the arm.
Yeah, that's what they want you to do.
In other words, imagine the body walking around where your arm don't work, but your arm got like, imagine you like Bassett without the horns, right? You got Civic written on one arm, right? And you got Divine written on another arm. The Divine arm is pointing up, but your other arm broke. You can't. So how you going to establish that law? Didn't Noble Drali go around his elbow to get to his thumb to establish what?
Law.
The rule of law in this land?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
They said it's dead.
Yeah.
Cursed heathen.
Treasonous bastards. Treasonous.
So, I guess we got to resurrect the civic side now, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I need to get me a damn chauffeur position, Morris. I need to resurrect.
You got to blow up the arm. You got to ring up the pumps.
We got to get the waist out, Grand Sheik. We got to get it rehabilitated. We got to take it to what they call that when you break your arm and you got to go into rehabilitation. Yeah, that's what it is. Nurse it, rehabilitate it.
Put that arm in a bubble boy in a bubble boy.
Yeah. Get it back working.
Support, you idiot.
Because these bastards, boy, they want you to just be like defenseless more. It's like you can't even punch a dude square in the face no more because they talking about you can't use it. You can't even swing your scimitar, Morris. You can't even swing your scimitar. What the? Oh my God!
And then the bull said, we only won because they weren't ready for us. We caught them off guard. That's a good thing, nigga. If I catch you off guard in the crossover and I bring it back fast enough, you might fall. I'm the star on the court. I better make that shot too.
Right.
So what do you like? You're supposed to catch them off guard. I hope they're not sleeping in them seats that they're borrowing and adopting and being garbed and robed and clothed with the authority of. Please give them a job to do.
Mm-hmm. Because if you don't, then the job is going to be on you. See what I'm saying? Exactly.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
Exactly.
This guy, man.
And then he gets on a platform and then talks this more like he been doing this junk more like he been, like you said before, on Taj coattail. A lot of them now they got on the trampoline and flip, and now they act like they forgot about the principles of the civics part. You know what I mean? Everything is a religious part now. They just want to be divine now, okay? But they forgot the civic arm. Come on, how you gonna do that? That's treasonous actions. You're further taking your nation into another Sleepy Giant episode. Tied down.
Cujo, this is a good question. Have you any stories of foreign agencies or anybody coming at you to try to get you to do some, like, sell out the Moorish shit or offer you a package or some shit like that?
No, not even. Not even.
But you've never been on our Sinetta doing debates with people.
Only one was the Ali Muhammad.
Oh, you didn't get he didn't get the seventh arm. He ran.
Yeah. I mean that kind of went along with it because the whole thing was they canceled it so that we can do it. So we can do it in New York because they had a bigger capacity there.
A bigger platform too, right?
They tried to get you to come out to the ballroom.
Yeah, and split the.
No. I'm glad you didn't take it more because they was probably putting rituals on them niggas. Ain't none of the people around here no more. They all fell off.
They were doing something.
So my thing is that he was in that limelight, that cipher when he had that little Reggie debate.
Yeah.
Things ain't been the same since.
None of them. None of them's been the same since.
Mhm.
Islam,
Everybody got a. Before we leave, more, I just want to say this. Everybody got a little taste of, you know, selling out. I guess, got a little bit the so-called fame and nobility, and then turned it around to go against the people that you're supposed to be for. You know what I mean? That's ridiculous. You know what I mean? So I just want to say that, and I yield the floor.
Islam. Islam more. Islam more. Do you have any closing remarks?
Islam, just peace to the Moors, peace and love to the Moors. You know.
Islam.
I say more get with study groups and like learn this stuff. Mother, can you give that link again?
Which link you referring to?
The study group link you have?
ActiveMoors.com?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, you can set up your own forum, just sign up, everything is free. Courtesy of Jonathan Bay, who created MoorsDirectory.com. Also a good reference is Asir the Duke of Tears. You can use research him on YouTube. He has another channel where he goes into the treaties of America. That's where I learned a lot of my reference points with the treaties and stuff like that from Asir. And he went over like everything you went over, Kasir, and more. So he's good. I recommend him and obashangoL.com for the 11-step process. I advise everybody to read what the man put down.
Oh yeah, that's beautiful.
Because I still don't find nobody who did it better. I stand on that. Stand on that wholeheartedly.
That's Bruce Banner for real.
Hulk smash.
It's crazy. It really get crazy, bro. It's crazy. It's crazy.
So yeah, like take advantage of that OneDrive, y'all. Take advantage. And of course, Everyday Publications for the books, the DVDs. Definitely DVDs. I don't even know if she do the DVDs anymore. But the throwbacks of Taj going in, Sister Anna E going in on the Civics. You want to, resurrect that Civic arm. Yeah, dive into, the old school stuff like that. And it'll definitely catapult you forward with what you're supposed to know with everything going on. So ActiveMoors.com, MoorsDirectory.com, obashangoL.com. Yeah.
Oh, real quick, Morris. Sheik asked if Dred Scott was a Moor. No, Dred Scott wasn't no dang Moor. We read it. He was supposed to do his freedom papers in Wisconsin territory. He failed to do it, so he got his ass off the case.
Yeah, he was stateless.
I think the Moors are religious organization. No,
what?
The Moors are Moors. The religious organization is called the Moor Science Temple of America.
Temple of America, yeah.
Yeah, the Moors have a religious organization. It does not create Moors.
Right.
Since 1928. Yeah.
Here.
Since our beloved prophet came here, so we're gonna give honors to him. Islam.
Peace, Amir L. You got something to add on?
Yeah, this is Elijah L, the owner of PNF channel. I just wanted to add on to something. Yeah, shout out to Kasir and the owner of this channel, Cujo L. I just wanted to address something in the comments and what Brother Kasir had said. And first, give y'all honest for the last week. I learned 3 things this week from this channel. I had learned about the Texas, the stealing of Texas and how they was getting the Moorish, so-called Spanish up out of that. From I think that was Kasir, one of you guys. Then y'all came with Jacob Dorman, right? Bearing witness of the hijack of my town that I'm from, and actually, am related to the people of this culture. As you can see, they was practicing it, so you can get a real glimpse of some of the descendants of people who wasn't brought up as just, African slaves and all that. They kind of knew who they was. But
Islam.
we have the brother root words, who got all, people have demons, they lower self attached to them and didn't really get that holy breath or the purification process that some of us people who went to the temple receive. You know what I mean? When we were in the streets or young or whatever,
Yep,
you know.
reconditioning the mind. Yep.
So we go in there and learn about the holy breath and the Holy Spirit and how it will work that filth that you accumulate in your soul that becomes junk DNA. The Holy Spirit handle that for you through the third eye, so and so. So this is why we love the temple and keep the doors open for the spiritual and divine. Right? Now, on top of that, the Moorish Science Temple of America, we write it in all caps, and then we put a period behind each M. Let you know, Signs and Symbols is a corporation. It's a religious corporation. But it's a meetup for a spiritual reason, and that don't give me my nationality. That's common sense, right? Like, that's something we shouldn't be arguing with a channel like this. That's why I had to come over here right quick, because I know root words. We all know it, but this is a time for him and the lower self attached to him to just, okay, be mature. Just see what it is. Jacob Dorman came over here and proved our ancestors was assassinated. I do not take that lightly because my father was assassinated.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Not killed, he was assassinated.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So this ain't like, and we got the power, we got the mic. This is one of the most best Moorish channels. I don't have no beef with this brother or anybody over here. I just did videos on other Moors who I thought was causing confusion. And
Right.
Cujo, he stand up for all Moors. He don't want us talking about no Moors, and I respect that. You feel me?
Islam.
And that's why I don't do videos on him. But anyway, root words is the only Moor that do. I don't do that, Kasir. I don't go on the Abo channel, Indian channel, to try to blend in. I go over there scimitar because we don't want the national Grand Sheiks and Grand Sheiks, official governments in the Republic or on the spiritual side arguing with these peons. We got this.
Yeah, we got it.
Right.
We got it. The Grand Sheiks just keep doing what y'all doing. It been changed the algorithm, but Canaanland Moore is doing. We just didn't pay attention. So we all doing it. Now we got to officially document this and move on because we got property now. We got intellectual property, a reason to be here in our own culture, so we ain't got to be bored.
Right.
You know? So we got the science of, Allah speak to man through man. So we know the spiritual and divine, they don't know. That's our message. We got to get to brothers like root words. And if we can change him, we can change anybody. Because it's real. The confusion they causing, bro, and I ain't going to be long-winded, this it.
Mm-hmm.
Words do affect, even from the ignorant. So it's a war. And the Abos is the conduit to being anti-Moorish. And we built the Aboriginal community. Quote, you feel me? So the war with the words is what's slowing us down, because if you look at USAR, any group, Canaanland Moors, anybody who was doing they indigenous rights, we ain't got no business going against that. And that's one thing that I see is because we indigenous. So we got that going on, regardless of the culture. So we got to come together with love, and love is the ultimate weapon against these clowns, man. I'm showing you love root words because we've been dealing with you for years, homie. The MST of A is a place afforded to us by the prophet, giving us instruction. It says it right here. I'm going to read it for you. The Moorish American Constitution, Act 6. I'm going to read it. It says, with us, all members must proclaim their nationality. And we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they may know that they are a part and parcel of this said government, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted into 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era of time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live in the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained Noble Drew Ali, the prophet, to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites who inhabited the northwest and southwest shores of Africa. So with us, keep that in mind, brother. If you didn't proclaim your nationality with us, you committing fraud. We got to bring you to justice. Just look at it like that, man. Yeah. That go for everybody, because Allah speak to man through man, right?
Yeah.
So with us, that's the people, the nation, not some individual EIN sucker pushing that crap up here.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't come on, man. The women and the children, the men ain't even, if we was quiet, because peace mean quiet. If we was quiet, none of this would be happening. Because that's what peace mean, being quiet for the men. Because what is we talking about? It's about the women. So that's how you know we in our lower self. Islam, let the women be the voice. That's why I got Moorish Princess, aka Kiera Fuller Bay, doing videos. That's how you show the fruits of your labor, is when these women putting in work. And I will you yield the flow. Islam, Cujo. Yeah,
Peace,
Islam.
love.
That's perfect.
Peace and love, Moors. Islam
Okay,
to all. Once again, don't forget, tomorrow night, get on RV Bay Publications, get the link. Tomorrow night, 7:30 Eastern Time. Thanksgiving Presentment 2021, presented by RV Bay Publications. Honors to all the Moors worldwide. All the Moors worldwide. Honors to all the mothers. And supreme honors to the Moorish nation and Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Peace and love, Moors. Islam.
Islam, Morris, Islam.
Wow.